Even though the game came out in 2011, you still can't help but to play it over and over again, exploring the vastness that is Skyrim. Even if you've devoted hundreds of hours into the game, like I did, there's still so much more to uncover about this best-selling masterpiece. But what about all that stuff behind the scenes? Well, unless you're a developer for the game or a supreme Uber fan, here's 7 things that you probably didn't know about Skyrim. If you learned at least one thing from this video, or you just like the video, please leave a thumbs up. Everything you see in the game started with just 2 brains. There were only 2 concept artists that worked on the entire game of Skyrim. Adam Adamovicz and Ray Lederer were the brilliant minds behind every piece of art seen in the game. Everything from armor, houses, creatures, statues, and even the freaking horkers were thought up and designed by the dynamic duo. I could literally look at this artwork all day. To put things into perspective, Adam was the only concept artist for Fallout 3. Sadly, Adam passed away from complications of lung cancer 3 months after the release of the game. Bethesda has immortalized his legacy on a tribute page. Bethesda made an offer to his fans that seemed rather insane. Since Skyrim was to be released on November 11th, 2011, they said that anyone who named a child born on that date Dovahkiin would be rewarded with a lifetime supply of Bethesda games. Well, wouldn't you know it, some crazy couple actually gave birth to an 8-pound baby boy on 11/11/11. His name? Dovahkiin Tom Kellermeyer. Although Bethesda was shocked that anyone took them up on their offer, they congratulated the young Dragonborn and have since stayed true to their word. Here's hoping that the young lad just goes by Tom, otherwise he's gonna have to learn a Thum in order to keep the bullies at bay. Before beginning work on Skyrim, Bethesda was approached to make a game based on George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. If you know anything about the novels, you know that they're the basis for HBO's hit TV series, Game of Thrones. The lead director, Todd Howard, described the proposition as very tempting, but ultimately they turned down the offer to focus on Skyrim instead. Game of Thrones did end up making a game in 2012, an RPG under the development of Cyanide Studios, and looking at the reviews of the game, it doesn't look like it was well received. Anybody out there played this one? What would the Bethesda game be without video game references? In Endon's house in Markarth, there's a shelf that has garlic, glow dust, sliced goat cheese, and a slaughterfish egg. They are arranged to resemble Pac-Man eating several pack dots, leading up to a power pellet. During the quest, Proving Honor, the companion Farkas says to you, "It's a secret to everybody." This phrase was popularized by the Legend of Zelda video games. Travel to Skyrim's highest mountain peak, the throat of the world, and climb to the top of the summit. Here you'll find a very special, notched pickaxe embedded in some malachite ore. This is a callback to the incredibly popular Minecraft, created by none other than Marcus Notch Pedersen. What's weird about this one is that while Notch and Todd Howard were having a game developer's bromance, the 2 companies were in the middle of a heated lawsuit. Bethesda lawyers sued Mojang for trying to make a game called Scrolls. They feared that audiences would confuse that title with their own Elder Scrolls series. Skyrim has a crapload of pop cultural references as well. The quest, A Night to Remember, is a nod to the movie The Hangover. In the quest, you travel around Skyrim looking for your drinking buddy Sam, and cleaning up all the problems you created while you were drunk. When Aethys is asked why he joined the Companions, his response is, "Fortune and glory, friend, fortune and glory." This is a reference to a very similar line from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
You can talk to Enther at the College of Winterhold and say, "I understand you're an elf who knows how to get things." This is a reference to the 1994 film, The Shawshank Redemption.
I understand you're a man that knows how to get things.
While in the Soul Cairn, some souls will say, "Death is but a door, time is but a window, I'll be back." These are the last words of Vigo the Carpathian, a character voiced by Max von Sydow, before his brutal death in Ghostbusters 2.
What was will be, what is will be no more.
All can agree that the music for Skyrim is big, enchanting, and, for a lack of a better word, epic. To make this game come alive, thousands of hours were spent trying to craft the sound of the game. For example, the main theme of Elder Scrolls was adapted into a Nordic barbarian victory song. They wanted the theme to sound like a choir of hulking bearded men singing in a dragon language. The choir consisted of about 30 people, but Todd Howard wanted it to sound like 90 people. So what they did was sing each part of the song 3 times in a row and then layered the vocals in post. This process was definitely successful. Every time I heard the song while playing, I couldn't help but sing along. Even though I didn't know the dragon language it was sung in, I would just make up fake words to the melody.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
Getting shot in the knee with an arrow couldn't have been funnier, having heard it hundreds of times from different characters in the game. But there's also some theories as to where the concept came from. In the fantasy book The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, at one point the main character says, "Took an arrow in the knee on my way through the Eld 3 summers ago. It's what made me give up the good life on the road." This book was published in 2007, and with Skyrim being 4 years from release, this might have been where Bethesda got that line from. It's also possible that the popular phrase was put into the game because this was the first Elder Scrolls game not to include greaves. So with everybody running around Tamriel with exposed kneecaps, it could make for an easy target for any skilled bowman. There is also a myth out there that says that in Scandinavian countries, taking an arrow in the knee meant to get married. This urban legend turned out to be just false. It's a fabrication. It's been totally refuted by the game developers. They said that it's just one of about 100 stock phrases that were added late into the game to try to add more depth to the NPC character conversations. They had no idea that it would spawn a meme that spread through the internet like a wildfire. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you learned at least one thing, please leave a thumbs up. And next time you see your buddies, you can blow their minds with some of these amazing facts. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play Skyrim for the 4th time. Maybe this time I'll be a Khajiit. Did you know they had barbed penises?